times to contact the spirit world. We've only done one. Time for number 2. Over 100 years ago in Lilydale, New York, a new religion sprang up. It was this religion of spiritualism. Spiritualism. Now, these people believed that it was possible to contact and get messages from the deceased. In fact, the whole religion was based on that. You can still go to Lilydale, New York if you want to have a seance or meet the spiritualists. But if you can be patient, you don't have to drive nearly so far, because every summer the spiritualists leave New York State and they go to their summer home, their summer camp, and it's in Adams County right here in Wisconsin, in the community of Wanawa. The most esteemed spiritualist mediums are the physical mediums. They are the ones that are able to not only get messages, but produce actual phenomena. We're going to duplicate test conditions. I'm going to find 2 gentlemen who can come down here right now. They are going to serve as our examiners on stage here. Let's, okay, stand up, sir, right there. He's eager. Where are all those well-dressed gentlemen that normally spend an evening at the theater right there? There we go. All the way down here. Where's our other gentleman? Is he making his way down? All the way on stage. All the way. These 2 fellows are going to keep us completely honest up on stage. Right over here for you. Thank you. Hi. Nice to see you. What's your first name? Anthony. Anthony, you got anything up your sleeve tonight, Anthony? No, nothing up your sleeve, nothing in your jacket. Very good. What's your name? Tom. Nice to meet you. Nothing up your sleeves. You're not hiding any recording equipment or anything like that. Anthony and Tom, do you 2 know each other? No, now you do. Maureen is about to come out here. And let's have the gentlemen, Anthony and Tom, take a look at these pieces of clothesline. Soft rope, very soft, pliable rope. We're going to use those in just a moment. Maureen is going to become our physical medium. She has studied this for a while, and tonight we're going to see if she can, by going into a trance-like state, actually bridge the gap and communicate with souls that have already passed over. But we want to make sure that it isn't a hoax or a trick. So please watch over my shoulder here, Anthony. Or do you prefer Tony? Anthony and Lily. From my Boy Scout days, do you recognize that as a square now? I've pulled it nice and tight. Anthony, there's a little rope left over. Why don't you go ahead and add a few knots on top of that so that she is really tight. And now, Tom, we're going to do exactly the same thing over here. And I want you to watch me just as closely as Anthony did. And once again, that is a legitimate square knot, is it not, sir? I've pulled that tight. Go ahead, tie a few more knots. All set. We have some more rope, a little bit shorter. This one is for you. And Tom, this piece of rope is for you. You will be using those in a moment. But first, Maureen's going to turn around. And now, much like putting somebody in a straitjacket, I'm going to tie her arms tightly around her. Anthony, if you'd come over here, I could use the assistance of a well-placed finger right on the knot. Try to step to the side so the audience can see this. These test situations were actually created by Harry Houdini for the spiritualists because he was very interested in this in his lifetime. He wanted to believe it was possible to communicate with the spirits, but he didn't want there to be any trickery, so he tied her there. And now, gentlemen, walk with me. Maureen will turn around. We're going to sit her in this chair. I want you to observe this maneuver that the audience cannot. Passing one of the ropes through the rungs in the back of the chair. Now Maureen is going to sit back. And Anthony, once again, a finger would be helpful right there. And you see we have now not only tied her rope, her arms rather, around her body. We've pilloried her to the chair. Gentlemen, if you would each be kind enough to tie her ankles to the legs of the chair. You determine what kind and the number of knots, but I will advise you that later you will be untying these knots. So if you go overboard, that'll be your job to undo it. I'll call your attention to a crack that is running horizontally across the stage. You just stand about on that crack, because in a moment when we bring this enclosure forward, you will then be able to see behind, in front, everything. But let's look at that enclosure. It's made of cold water pipe, and I'd like you gentlemen to walk around it. I want you to see that it is nothing more than what it appears to be, sort of a skeletal framework. Check it out. We've kind of bunched the curtains up, but only so that it's all visible and open for you. And once you check that out, return to your position standing on the crack. Alan is then going to start dropping the curtain at the back of the cabinet. And then we'll need some curtain at the sides. And now, if you will, let's give Maureen a few moments so she can put herself into a trance-like state. And now, spirits, hear our call, and would you check the knots? Is she still tight? Is she still secured to the chair, both in front and in back? Some stuff in your pockets. May I borrow your coat, your jacket? Your jacket. It's your jacket. The test tonight is not to make contact by a message, but to prove the existence of the spirit world by a physical manifestation. Tom, is she wearing your coat? Are her arms in its sleeves? Is she still tied to the chair? The Modjeska, supposedly the most haunted theater in America, the perfect place to prove the existence of the spirit world. Don't bother putting it back on just yet. About to send you somewhere you have never been before. Tom is about to enter the world of darkness, the spirit world. Because this can be an extremely frightening experience, on your first visit, I will tie one final square knot. Enjoy your journey, Tom. Tom, you are about to enter the spirit world. You are about to prove to our audience that the Modjeska is truly the most haunted theater in America. Would you like to stand up, Tom? Did you want to adjust your pants? Excellent. Would you check the knots and the ropes? Is Maureen still securely tied? Indeed she is. I'm going to begin untying the knot that holds her to the chair. I'm going to push her a little bit forward, and you see that she is still tied at her back. Would you check the knots at her ankles? And gentlemen, undo them. These were the knots that you tied, so it will be your job to untie them. Maureen, you were asleep. It only seemed like a moment. Thank you so much, Tom. Thank you so much, Anthony. But most of all, thank you so much, Maureen, our spirit medium. Clean up the kitchen, Al. We got 5 plates everywhere.